Well, crack on then. Have you got your thing in? Have you got everything on?
We're on.
Good. Oh, we got proper on.
We're on.
Thank fuck for that then. Hello. Welcome to episode 7.
We're getting up there.
We're getting there to the season finale of What's in the Egg, Rob? I need to move this episode on pretty quickly.
You're a bit tight.
A little bit. This is a genuine costume that was used in the film, and I just broke it. But I think, you think you'll have to cut me out of this, man.
Direct from 1984,
Yeah,
staple of Marshmallow Man.
See how he bullies me.
Oh,
Now, look, this is...
it's bossed. You bossed it.
I bossed you. I bossed it because it can't handle my manliness.
Yeah.
Not
it's just oozing out of you.
This is apparently, Rob bought this, I'm sure he did it as a joke. This is one size fits most, and I am not most. I am pure man.
You are most. Why? Why are you most?
I'm beyond most. And everything's riding up. I feel like someone's garroting me. Rambo wouldn't be happy in this costume.
Okay, let's move it on.
Anyway, episode 7 of What's in the Egg, Rob? Hopefully you'll guess.
Diving in. Did you get it, guys? Not part 1, but part 2.
Duh.
Stick out there. Let's get rid of the egg. There it goes.
Egg depart. I'm sorry to break the movie magic with a microphone wire, but there's not even room for a wire in this costume.
Can't even wire. FBI would be screwed, wouldn't they?
You can't wire me up because I'm in severe pain, and that won't even fit through.
It's as tight as a what?
Yeah, tight as a what?
I have no idea.
No, there's nothing tighter on earth. There isn't. This is and this as well. I'm going to quickly talk about this. Is seizing all blood flow to my head, so I might pass out in between, or just talk even more rubbish. I think Rob's had the best time of his life this morning.
It's fantastic. We're talking about Back to the Future Part 2 from 1989. Now that was a year.
Yeah, you are. Sure. Both came out, didn't they?
That's good. No, this came out in November 1989.
Okay. Well, it was shot together, wasn't it?
Yes. That's interesting. Yeah. We'll get on to that because that's a really cool thing. Well, it was for me back then. But yeah, obviously follow up to one of the greatest films of all time, 1985's Back to the Future.
And what a bloody good follow-up.
Oh, so much to chat about this. There's so many.
Yeah, there isn't there really.
Where did you first see it?
I saw this. I'll be dead honest. I saw it on a pirate video.
No, that's what the demand was.
Yeah. It wasn't. I don't recall it being a massive cinema event for some weird reason. Because I think the UCI had just been built in Derby. It was called the UCI then, and I went to see Indiana Jones instead.
That was the first film I saw at the UCI.
Last Crusade?
Yeah.
It was mine as well.
Yeah.
They were in the same screen.
Maybe
I was one of the 2 girls you were looking at. If you watched the previous episodes.
That was Teen Wolf. Yeah, speaking of that, our second Michael J. Fox film.
That's quite rare.
Not planning?
No, definitely not. Just realised the glasses should be on Doc Brown.
Ah, yes.
At the front.
Yeah.
So I'm one item short.
Yeah.
Is they down there?
No.
Shit.
Oh, bugger.
I'd look better.
Not accurate, not screen accurate.
No, I would have got away with it then if I'd have had the glasses on instead.
UCI in 1989, me too. But I'm trying to think. Obviously, lots of the cast return. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. Not Crispin Glover. But there was a big
two people didn't return in this one.
Well, Crispin Glover, didn't he sue them and successfully sue them?
I think that was later on.
Character likeness, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which I didn't realise it wasn't him. Did you?
No.
I wasn't even that bothered, to be fair.
No.
And also Jennifer.
Claudia Wells.
Big mistake, I thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
Women. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I don't know. Was it a clash of scheduling?
I read this morning, doing my research. It was
Rob's
something. She went to look after her mum or something like that. Her mum was ill. So yeah.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah. So that was the reason. That's quite.
I don't mind Elizabeth, but she just did not look right in that role.
She had a weird wig, didn't she? And I think on the more recent copies you can tell it's a wig.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't look right. She hadn't got the right face for that hair, and it just didn't. Sorry, it didn't work for me. But it's probably my favourite Back to the Future.
Yeah. The fact it's quite cool that they did actually replace Claudia Wells and they had to reshoot all that.
The first bit,
yeah, that's quite good.
It's a bigger role, obviously, isn't it, for her in the second one. Kind of forget how much of a role she's got in it.
And I think apparently the first Back to the Future wasn't planned to have a sequel. And
Was it not?
who wrote Robert Zemeckis and, come on, help me out, Bob Gale. One of them or both of them said that if they knew there was going to be a sequel, they wouldn't have had Jennifer in that end tail scene, because that meant that they've got to try and figure it into the story. Otherwise, they could have sent Marty and Doc on a totally different adventure. But I always thought that was a cool thing. It's your kids.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
great. I like that 2015 bit. I always wonder, like, I'll be like, how old would I have been then? I'd probably be 39, thinking, what will I be when I'm 39? Yeah. That was shocking 8 years ago.
One thing that I think we've spoke about this is you always associate this as the film set in the future. Yeah. But there's not much in the
about
future.
To say the same thing. 15 minutes, if that.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's a bit like what's recently Full Metal Jacket, where you think it's like training is the majority of the film. It's 40 minutes of the film. There's another hour and a half of like the actual story. Yeah. That's the same. You always think that's the future. And it's set more in 55, would you say? There's more happening in the, which I think is really, really clever.
I'm going to put this out there. Go on. I can remember. You see all these films now with so much great special effects and all these set pieces and stuff like that. I'm going to focus on friggin' Marvel films like Infinity War and all these. What's it called now? The multiverse and all this kind of thing. Where it's so much set. How are they going to create these worlds? But for me, when I knew they was going into the future, I was so fucking excited about how they was going to portray it. And that first scene where he walks out of the alleyway into Hill Valley, it's like, what's it going to be like? Yeah. I'll put that just destroys anything that you see these days.
Absolutely. Did you also think that, as far as my 14-year-old brain allowed me, that's how the future's going to be? I kind of believe them, that they had like a gateway. They thought, I can't wait for that to happen, flying cars.
It seemed so far in the future though, didn't it? From late 80s till another 25 years or something like that. 30 years.
Well, it's 85, wasn't it? It all sets around, it's set in the same year, isn't it? And then it goes 30 years into the future, 30 years into the past, 55, 85. Yeah. You can tell you didn't go to a very good school, can't you? But, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, Hill Valley in the future. What was your favourite parts about it?
Do you know what? I think this gets slated for a little bit, where I echoed the first film with the hoverboard instead of the skateboard.
Oh, brilliant. I loved it.
I love the hoverboard race. That was good. The bit in the... There you go, look. I didn't do it on purpose.
Came prepared.
That's the coolest thing in the world, isn't it?
Well, there's something about people
I got a pitbull now.
Was it people expected to be able to buy these or something, actual working ones?
Probably, yeah. Thinking that but I suppose we're nearly there, aren't we?
Could you imagine? Yes.
Oh, mate. I'd still be crapping it, wouldn't you? I'd still get one like that from Skeggy Market that were like batteries run after 5 minutes. I'd be stranded somewhere. But no, that bit, obviously the spine tingling bit where he goes to Biff's and he comes up and docks on the DeLorean. Yeah. And I think it knocks him out with the door, doesn't he? I don't think I like everything about it. Yeah. I do. I really do. I think there's a...
What do you think about the kids all looking like Michael J. Fox? I thought it was funny at the time, but now I'm like, nah.
Do you know what? The kid didn't bother me too much. His son, sorry. Yeah. The daughter was too obvious, and I think it's
why didn't they just have Elizabeth Shue as the
daughter? Yeah, but I think Elizabeth Shue was bigger than Michael J. Fox. Yeah. That's probably why. I like the upside down George when he flies in. You sure can hydrate it, pizza. Like, Needles is good, which is that Flea from Red Chili Peppers?
The fact that Leah Thompson
McFly.
Leah Thompson is much hotter than she is portrayed in the future. Leah Thompson.
Yeah, Jaws 3.
Jaws 3. All the right moves.
If you want to see,
Some Kind of Wonderful.
etc.
Howard the Duck. She had a strange career though. Actually, she's like trying to get off with the sun, trying to get off with the duck. Strange choice of film.
She's a right hoe, isn't she? She's got serious sex problems, hasn't she?
She likes the kinky stuff.
Yeah. Is that what you say when you meet her? You must be wanting to. I'm your cousin, did you not know? Funny enough, I've not slept with your cousin yet.
But this came out in a big year, 89. It came behind
Last Crusade, as we just said.
And
Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2, missing the big one of 89.
The big one?
The big one. You brought me the tape recently.
Oh, Batman, of course, yeah. Oh, God, what a... Yeah, that was a heck of a year then, wasn't it?
Lethal Weapon 2.
Yes, Lethal Weapon 2, because we picked that as our favourite, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we must have had some sort of injury, because as good as it is, we made a mistake there, mate. Yeah, Batman, which that is probably the first film I remember being absolutely bosh in your face.
Yeah.
The promotion stuff for that was insane.
God. We're tangenting, but you got to talk about Batman.
Absolutely everywhere. Whereas this was biggish, but 89 was a sort of era when they were bringing out a big thing about a lot of soundtracks, where this didn't really have a soundtrack, did it?
That's one thing I want to bring up, because obviously Huey Lewis, Power of Love for the first one. We'll get on to part 3 in a minute, but that had ZZ Top.
Yes, it did, yeah.
This one didn't have like a signature song.
No, exactly, which is bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, I think on the soundtrack, is Michael Jackson Beat It in there somewhere?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And Sammy Hagar, I Can't Drive 55. That's in there as well. But generally, I would have thought that had been a given. We've got to find, like a James Bond film, you've got to have the theme song.
Yeah, which they did in most 80s, didn't they?
Yeah, but they didn't do it for this one. That's interesting.
Isn't it? Yeah. They could have a wicked video for it, couldn't they?
Oh my God, yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Do you reckon they were rushing it then when they went to like, shit, we need to move on to 3?
Maybe,
post-production was, that's why that didn't get much of a kick, but it's a perfect middle film as a trilogy.
Yeah.
Don't you think? It kind of expands on the first one. I'd prefer to watch it. I really like the first one, but that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Bit like with Star Wars, Return of the Jedi is my go-to. With Star Wars, not my favourite, but it's my go-to one.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4. It's not the best, but it's my go-to.
Yeah, there you go. So this is my go-to one. But I need to see it again.
Other scenes, the recreation, I love it where he goes back to 85 and he goes back to his house and there's that black family living in there. That is so, can't remember bars on the windows.
Yeah. Just,
what does the guy say to him when he comes in with his baseball bat? He says something.
We ain't gonna be terrorised.
No, but he says something, a really funny line.
It's a mistake. Damn straight it's a mistake. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, superb. And how they recreated all them scenes from 55 again.
That bit is quite good when they rethinking it, where he just lands on that bed and that girl just sits with screams in his face. Shit.
Could you imagine if you was Martin McFly in that situation?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God. Fantastic. But recreated all 1955 again.
Yeah.
When they go
with
back
Strickland was, the school burnt down.
Yeah.
Biff's museum and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bit Trump-esque, don't you think?
I think it was based on Trump.
Was it based on Trump Towers and all that sort of stuff?
It's a very clever story, though. That story must have took some writing to try and make everything match.
Holes, mistakes.
Okay, there's going to be some.
The one thing that always bugged me was, they say, if she sees herself, the universe could explode, and she'll just faint. And she just faints.
Yeah. We're talking about Elizabeth Stewart.
What does she say when she sees herself? It's like, and then they both collapse sideways.
Yeah.
Doc Brown sees himself.
Okay.
And I just talk to himself. Don't they? He goes, "You pass the blood room," and he's like, "Yeah."
Is that because Doc Brown is prepared for it, or it's like?
Well, I don't think the universe would know that, do you?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I thought was very, and also Biff meets Biff.
Yes.
Quite a lot because he gives him his magazine.
Yeah.
So how is that? I thought that they shouldn't have bothered with that. Oh, this bloody hair. And I can't remember what it's like to have hair in your eyes. I might keep it on.
Great Scott.
I'll tell you what, I want a big red line across my head, aren't I? Oh.
I told you we should have modified it.
We should have modified it. I have to modify my brain after this. What was I saying? So there was no need for that. You should have said, let's go and get her before she sees her future self and freaks out or whatever.
Fair enough.
Okay, have you got any other holes in it?
Speaking of that, this is something I found out this morning and I'm going to have to re-watch it next time because I think this is the coolest, one of these things where so much attention to detail is given to films which isn't necessary, like Easter eggs and things like that. But this is a good one. Apparently the scene when they go back to 1955 and Doc's on the clock tower trying to fix it and he speaks to himself, what does he say? Can you hand me that wrench or something?
So you mean thingy-mabob,
Yeah. That scene, right, I'm going to have to look at my notes. Apparently, if you go back and watch the first Back to the Future, around that scene, there's a guy in a long brown coat walking away just before that scene.
Oh, what? No, we never knew that.
And apparently that's just total coincidence because there wasn't planned a sequel or anything like that. I think someone must have picked up and said, oh, there's a guy dressed like this, we can tie it all in. Now, whether this is true, I only read this morning, so I have to go back and watch Back to the Future and look out for this guy.
No, that's great.
But that's a really cool kind of scene.
No, that is really good. I didn't know about it. I've not got any more things like that, 'cause I love stuff like that. It's really cool.
I have to rewatch that.
Or can explain to me how that end of universe passing out thing works.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's all real. Like a time machine out of a DeLorean.
One thing I've said to you, I'm going to you say this is your go-to of the trilogy. I think this has one of the greatest endings of any film ever. Or almost not even. There's several endings in a way to it.
Yeah, there is. It ends and you're like, oh, they've done it, then it ends again, then it ends again.
Yeah.
And
it's brilliant.
I don't know why, because they shouldn't, because it's a cliffhanger, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't wait for the third one.
Yeah. So what endings have we got in this one?
Well, where he... Oh, seriously.
He manages to get back to 1985.
Yeah, but he's already come back from 2015, so he's got his other self is there, and he comes running around the corner.
Yeah.
So you think that's done with?
Yeah. Yeah, just that fact where
he gets struck by lightning. Can you ever look at struck by lightning?
I just love that bit where Doc manages to send him back, and it just kind of extends a little bit, I think, from the first one where Doc's like dancing down the street, he's so happy, and then Marty runs back in and just comes up behind him.
Because there's obviously two Martys, isn't there?
Yeah.
So the Marty that's going back with Doc in the flying DeLorean gets struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Doc goes back to 19.
Yeah.
Help me out here. 25,
Something like that.
1925.
Yeah.
No, 1855. Whatever. It's something anyway. It's
the Wild West.
The Wild West era, which obviously isn't 25. So then the one McFly goes back to 85, but the one from 2015 is still in 55. And that's really good. So there is 2 or 3
And there's the whole bit where the DeLorean gets struck by lightning, disappears, like, oh shit, what's he going to do? Then that car suddenly pulls up and the guy gets out with the letter.
Yeah.
We had a bet on it for so many years, didn't know if anyone had turned
Did
up.
you think
Brilliant.
that bit, I'm just so stupid, I watch stuff like I was like, it got really wet, that letter did. I'm like, get it out of the rain. If it's been there for fucking 50 years, let's see our dude, piss it down in rain, read that, and it's just going to crumble. But that's a good way of getting out of jail, and I think the first setup with 3, quickly jumping on 3, works really well. I never really got in on with 3.
Okay.
I need to watch it again.
It's a very slow burn start to 3, where it just goes back to Doc's house. And
in that era, like early 90s, late 80s, technology was a thing, wasn't it? And it still is, I suppose. So you're going from like a great technology film, or an idea what's like watching Tomorrow's World, to like going back to the Wild West, which is like... But I do like Mad Dog Tannen in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. But it is, all 3 films, if you want to be harsh on them, reasonably lazy storytelling. It's the same film.
Just recycling the thing.
Yeah,
but
reasonably lazy, but still it's like, that's a nod in it. One thing, again, very quickly I don't like is Don't Call Me Chicky, and I don't know where the fuck did that come from? Do you know?
I read somewhere that Marty didn't have any flaws, so they wanted to give him a flaw, as in his temper.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because that appeared in 2, didn't it, his first time?
Yeah, because you didn't say it in 1, and all of a sudden it was a big thing.
They wanted...
Like, well, the reason for it, he had a car crash sort of thing, and then, okay. Yeah, a bit crap though, isn't it?
I'd have never picked up on that one.
Did you not?
No.
Did you also know who one of the kids was in the arcade?
Elijah Wood.
Very good, yeah.
And one of Biff's gang, Billy Zane, and one is it Ricky Dean Morgan from, I probably got his name wrong, apologies if I'll put it if I got it wrong, from Freddy's Dead, the guy with the earring hanging.
Yeah. Any other things? I'm trying to think if anyone else is in that. Is Jaws 3000, is it directed
Jaws
by
19,
son,
Max Spielberg.
Yeah. Spielberg's son.
This time it's really, really personal.
Yeah. Shark still looks fake. And it comes out, what else is there in that we can think about that's...
Pepsi Perfect.
Pepsi Perfect. Now these are mentally expensive, when the original ones are, aren't they? This says the original, but it's not the original,
okay.
So it's not fake. Actually, it's a proper Pepsi product. So it's arc with suits on.
Mint. So
wicked.
We highly recommend Back to the Future Part 2.
Very quickly again, before I keep saying that's about 6 times in this, but
Very quickly,
darling. So I can get out of this goddamn thing if I can. Scissors at the ready. Put them in order.
Oh right, as in favourites.
Worst to favourite. There's only 3, obviously.
Oh, I'm just going to go 3, 2, 1.
Ted Rogers style.
Yeah.
Can you do that 3?
I don't know.
That wasn't too bad. I can't do it. My hands are
I don't think. Someone slowed that down one time and he's not actually doing anything.
No, don't tell me that. Seriously.
The weirdest game show on Earth, 3, 2, 1 with Ted
Oh,
Rogers
have a
and
look,
Dusty.
yeah. Dusty, I just watched it just for Dusty Bin, didn't you?
Yeah, it could make no sense out of the programme.
They really win Dusty Bin? No, it's a fucking bin.
So what's yours then?
Oh, I'm going to struggle to argue with you on that, mate.
Okay.
But I might go 3-1-2.
All right.
But I'm very easily swayed. It's not like I'm saying with Indiana Jones or with Elm Street, or that they've got like, no, that isn't the correct way. This is my this one, throw it up in the air, and 1 and 2 is a 50-50 fight. 3's got to be last, even though there's still good bits in it. But
solid.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
What's in there, Rob?
See you next time.
Bye bye. Oh dear. I don't know. I just smelt it.
Do you remember the future?
You've got to come back with me.
Where?
Back to the future.
Are we back?
We're back.
What do you mean we're in the future?
October 21st, 2015.
Marty, we're gonna be able to see our wedding.
Wow, the future. I gotta check this out, Doc.
Look what happens to your son.
Oh, he's a complete wimp.
Don't talk to anyone.
You've been looking, Bob! Hey, look!
Don't touch anything.
I need to borrow your hoverboard.
And try not to look at anything. I didn't invent the time machine to win at gambling.
I can't lose.
I invented a time machine to travel through time.
Hey, Doc, I'm all for that. What's wrong with making a few bucks on the side?
Now, the time continuum has been disrupted, creating an alternate 1985.
There have been a few changes.
It's like we're in hell or something.
No, it's Hill Valley, although I can't imagine hell being much worse.
But they'll all be back.
Eat less slackers!
Biff?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
Well, that can't be you. You're so big.
Michael J. Fox. Christopher Lloyd. Michael J. Fox.
More like a couple of teenagers, you know?
And Michael J. Fox.
Mom, is that you?
Steven Spielberg presents a Robert Zemeckis film, Back to the Future. Part 2.